Yeah. Now is that fine? Yeah.
Yes.
Now if I have multiple jobs, then how should I compile? So if you have a single job, so if I open this, if I whatever the job which you are going to create, if I open this particular job, then I can click on this compile, right? But if I have multiple jobs to compile, let's say I have 100 and 200 jobs to compile, then how should I compile? So there is a property called in the tools button multiple job compile. Okay, so you need to click on this particular button multiple job compile, then one window will get open. So in that you need to select the jobs and you need to start the compile. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this one will come to know whenever you want to migrate some jobs. So see here, so you need to select what are the things you want to select. So I will select only the uncompiled jobs. Okay, so I want parallel and sequence and then the uncompiled jobs. Okay, if you want to show your manual selection page, you can also select it, then press next. Okay, so from here you can just drag whatever you clicked on the manual, right? So you can drag whatever the jobs you want, add it, and then next. Okay, and then you will get the list of jobs over here and you can start the compile. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now this is the multiple job compile. Whenever you have multiple jobs, 100 or 200 jobs or more than 10 to 20 jobs, you need not to go each and every job and compile. You can just directly go to the tools multiple job compile and you can do the stuff.
So the list will appear for all the jobs.
Yeah, the list will appear for all the jobs which are present in the jobs folder. Everything which are all present in this particular repository, all the jobs will get appear.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the, suppose now Munawar has developed one job. Okay. And you want to, Nasir want to use that particular job. Nasir wants that job to, use, or he want to check what he has done, what Munawar has done. Okay. So how, so whether he want to do the job again in his particular machine, or can he take the Munawar job and he can put it into Nasir's system. We can do that, right?
Yes.
So we can do that by using import. Okay, by clicking on the import and by clicking on the Datastage components. Okay, so you need to, so first of all, what Munawar has to do is, whatever the job, so suppose Munawar has developed this job, file job. Okay, so he need to export this job. So close it, go to the export, or click on the job. You need to click on the job, right click, and click on the export. Okay, so you need to click on the export. You can click multiple jobs. You can select multiple jobs. For example, if I want to select the file and as well as the A, select multiple jobs, right click and click on the export. So which will export all the jobs whichever you have selected. Okay,
May I interrupt you for a second?
this.
Okay. As the example you're giving us is Maneuver has some jobs and he's transferring or exporting to Nasir's system, right?
Right. Munawar has developed some jobs and those jobs are, required for Nasir. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
To do some changes. Then how Nasir has to get those jobs?
Okay.
Either the one way is, either he has to develop again. What Munawar has done, he has to develop again. Right?
Okay. Yes.
But that is not feasible solution because why would he do again?
Right, right.
Now, what Munawar has to do is, Munawar has to select the jobs and he need to click on the export button.
Okay.
Now, once he click on the export button, now here there are multiple options. Okay, let me tell you each one everything. Okay. So the first thing is iticham. Iticham mari. Adi teach. Adala teach. Mali ravathu. Okay. So the first thing what you need to do here is you need to select whatever the jobs you have selected. That will be listed out here.
Okay.
There are two ways to export. One is export job design with executables and export job design without executables. So these are the two most common ways we do the export. Now what do you mean by export job design without executables? Okay. So when I click export job designs without executables, which means that, please try to understand. So Munawar has exported the jobs. So he has exported the jobs without executables. Okay. Now when Nasir gets that particular export, then Nasir has to do the job compile again. Please try to understand. It will be confusing little bit. Try to understand. So Munawar has two jobs. He has exported without executables. Okay.
Okay.
So just this is the point which you need to remember. So without executables. Now I will just click the without executables, and I will discuss about these two items: exclude read-only items and include dependent. I will discuss later on. Now you want to export to the file. So click on this button and click the location where you want to export. Suppose I want to export into the local disk C files, and then give the name, whatever the name you want. So I will give Munawar, and the extension should be always dsx.dsx. So click on the open. So the export to file will come over here, and you can just click export. Okay.
Okay.
So far clear?
So far, yeah.
Yep. So you clicked on the export. Now Munawar.dsx file will be created. Munawar.dsx file will be created in the files folder. Now what Munawar has to do, he need to pick the dsx file and he can zip it and he can send it to Nasir. Okay. Now
Okay.
let's suppose Nasir has got the Munawar.dsx file. Nasir received the Munawar.dsx file. Now what Nasir has to do? Now Nasir has to go to the import. Now this is in the Nasir system. Nasir has to go into this system. Click on the Datastage components. Click the button again, this one, and go to the location where he has saved that particular file. Munawar has sent that particular file, right? Now Nasir has to save this particular file.
Okay.
So Nasir has to save, and he will be saving in some of this location wherever he feels. Now he will go to that particular location. Suppose he has saved in the DB2. So he will go to this particular location and he will click that button. He will click that particular file, munawar.dsx. Then he will click on open. So he will just click on this and he will open it, and then he will click on the export. Okay. Now he will just press OK. Just try to understand one by one. Okay. So now in the Nasir system, those two jobs will be present, right?
Yes.
Now in the Nasir system, after importing, Nasir system will also get these two jobs. Now the point over here is Nasir has to compile those two jobs again. Clear?
Why to compile?
Because he has done the exported the jobs without executables.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. So whatever the Munawar jobs has been done, Munawar job has completed. He has finished successfully. The jobs are running perfectly fine. Then Munawar exported without executables. Then he sent the file to Nasir. Then Nasir saved in his system, and by using import, he imported the jobs. Then Nasir has to compile those jobs again. Understood?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So,
No problem.
Okay.
what is the advantages for sending without executable or without
Right,
executable?
right, right. Hang on. I will explain each and everything. Now, first question: why he has done exported? Why he has exported without executables?
Yes.
Why he has done that? Okay, that's the question.
Yes.
Answer is Munavar environment is different. Okay, and Nasir environment is different.
When you say environment, what is exactly you mean?
Okay, when I said environment, so Munavar he is working on different project. So Munavar is working on ABC project.
Okay.
Okay, and Nasir is working on CDF project. Okay,
Okay.
but somehow, some coincidence, Munavar has got two jobs which are required to Nasir.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
see, there might be some instances, right, that you have created one job that I might be required that,
Okay.
right? So in that particular instance, I requested Munavar, Nasir has requested Munavar that boss, whatever the jobs, these two jobs you have, please send it to me. I will reuse that in my project.
Okay.
Okay. Now Munavar has sent and Nasir imported and he has compiled. But why Munavar has sent without executables? Because as Munavar environment is different, he has used some different parameters. Something, for example, in Munavar's environment, for server name he is using SV name. For username he is using uname. For password he is using password. And for schema name he is using schema name. So these are the parameters which he is using, Munavar. Okay.
Okay.
But in the Nasir environment, they are using, for server name, they are using server name. For username, they are using username. For password, they are using PWD. Now in the schema name, they are using schema name. So like this, they are using in the CDF project. You understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the Munavar environment parameters are different with Nasir environment parameters.
Okay.
So that's the reason Munavar has sent without executables. Then when Nasir tries to compile those two jobs, it will fail. The jobs will not compile
Okay.
because the jobs are having these parameters
Okay.
which Nasir system is not having that. So Nasir has to do the changes for these parameters. Nasir has to replace SV name with his own server name parameter, uname with his own username parameter. Then he has to compile. Understood the concept?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, one second. Okay. So that's the concept of job exported without executables. Now, myself and Nasim. So Rajesh has done some jobs, some two jobs, and he has exported with executables. Okay. He has exported the job with executables. Now I have sent these two jobs. I created the DSX saying that Rajesh.dsx and I sent it to Nasim and Nasim just imported it. That's all. No, Nasim has done nothing. Okay.
Okay. So the parameter should be the same as you create in your system. Has to be the same.
Right. So why Nasim has not to do anything?
Well, the parameters are the same. That's right.
Because the environment is same. It's not about the parameters. The environment is same, and in that particular environment, both of the environments are having the same parameters.
Okay. I see.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you understood?
Okay.
Okay. Now, okay. Now, whenever I am importing, now the concept comes whenever I want to import. So whenever I want to import, I have different options. If you see here, import all, import selected. Okay, these are the two most important things. Why? What is the importance of this? What is the importance of this?
Uh, so it seems like import all means like you're import.
So I have, for example, Rajesh. What he has done is he has 100 jobs. He took a DSX for that. Rajesh has exported 100 jobs and he has created one DSX. Okay, but Nasim needs only 10 jobs. He doesn't require whole 100 jobs. He needs only 10 jobs. Okay. Now from this 100 jobs DSX, you can just select import selected. Okay. You can click this import selected and you press OK. Then one window will get opened. So one window will open like this. Okay, there is no export file, but yes, one window will get open. In that, you just need to select what all the jobs you want.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Absolutely.
So you can select the jobs, whatever the 10 jobs you want, and then you can take it. So if you need all the 100 jobs, then you can just press import all. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear with the concept of export and import?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the reason why I explained this concept is, now if you three or five or anyone is working on different environments, any personal stuff which you are working on, if someone has to do or someone has to look after that particular job, just mail that particular DSX, then you can export into your job, you can import into your environment, and you can look at that particular thing. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now while exporting, if you have seen, we have something like read only items, exclude read only items, and include dependent items, right? So what does it mean? Why these two options are there?
Like,
Any guesses?
The read-only files, you cannot use them for your work, I guess.
What is that?
I said the read-only items, you cannot use them for your work.
What do you mean
You
by
can
read-only
only read
items?
them.
What do you mean by read-only items?
Means only you can read them, but you cannot perform anything with them.
I think
Sorry?
it means like you cannot make any changes. Read only, like you cannot make any changes. If,
No, it's not like that. So suppose, for example, Munawar has developed this job, right? Munawar and I are working on the same project. Okay? And Munawar want to export these two jobs. Listen very carefully. Munawar and I are working under the same project. So which means that whatever Munawar is accessing, I can also access it, right? Guys, are you able to understand?
trying to get a concept
Yes.
of it.
We see Munawar and I are working under the same project.
Okay.
Okay. Now whatever Munawar is able to access, I can also able to access. Right?
Sure.
ఎందుకు ఇలా నాకు ఏడుస్తుంటావు? Sorry guys. So Munawar and I are working under the same environment, which means that we both have the same privileges to access the jobs or to read the jobs. Whatever he can do, the same thing I can also do. Right? Right. So when Munawar wants to export these two jobs, I didn't knew that. So Munawar is thinking, Munawar planned that he want to export these two jobs. Okay.
Yes.
Now, in the meanwhile, while he was planning to export, what I am doing is, I am reading this job. I open this job and I am looking something. Okay. So, if a person is already opened a job, just understand. If a person is already opened the job, then the other person cannot do any changes.
Got it.
If I open this particular job file, then Munawar can only read that particular job. He can't do anything. Even though we are under the same environment, Munawar cannot do any changes because this job is opened by me now. You understood?
Okay. What about you? Can you do anything if you want to export it?
I can do the changes. Now understand. There are two to three scenarios here. Okay, just try to understand. Now you understood the concept. Myself and Munawar are under the same environment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we both have the access as it is. We both can access everything as it is, right?
Yes.
Now, Munawar developed two jobs. He only developed two jobs. Okay? But I can also access, I can also read, Munawar can also access, Munawar can also read. Right?
Yep.
As we are under the same environment. We are under the same environment. Now what Munawar wants to do is, Munawar planned to export. Munawar planned to export. Okay? So this is Munawar plan. Now in the meanwhile, while he was trying to export, I mean he clicked on the export, I didn't knew. I was sitting under one desk and he is sitting at some different place. He was trying to export, but at that moment I am also reading the job. I'm looking at the job. I'm looking at one of the job. Clear?
Yes.
So when I'm looking at one of the job, I can edit the I can edit,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I have privileges, so I can edit, right? Now, whenever Munawar is trying to export, he thinks that, okay, if someone is reading my job, then I need not to export it. So he can click this button saying that exclude read-only items. I hope it's confusing. Shall I explain it again?
Yes, please. Yes. The last part.
Okay. So first of all, so Munawar is trying to export it. Okay, before Munawar is trying to export it, let me tell you the thing. So Munawar developed two jobs, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's in Munawar system.
Mhm.
It's not in the Munawar system. It's in the environment. It's in the server. Now I am looking at one of the job and Munawar is trying to open the same job. So Munawar is trying to open the same job which I am looking.
Okay.
When Munawar try to open the same job, he will get a message saying that this job is locked by Rajesh and you can use it for read only.
Okay.
When Munawar tries to open the same job which I am looking, so Munawar will get a message saying that this job is locked by Rajesh and you can use it for read only. So Munawar can't do any changes until and unless I close it and then Munawar reopens it, then Munawar can do the changes.
Okay.
Is that clear now?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the same thing applies when Munawar is trying to export. When Munawar is trying to export.
Okay.
So Munawar is exporting these two jobs. So he felt that, I mean, he might think that, okay, when I'm exporting, someone can do the changes, right? Because there are so many people in the same environment and many people can look at the other jobs and they can do the changes if they want.
Mm.
So what Munawar felt is, okay, I will export the jobs which are not read-only items. You got the point? So that's the reason he clicked the button exclude read-only items. So when you click this button that exclude read-only items, my job, whatever the job I am looking at, this job will not get exported.
Okay.
Because that is a read-only item to Munawar, right?
Okay.
No, I still think you people didn't understand.
No. I got it.
Understood?
I got it.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Munawar?
If somebody is working on the job, looking at it, if the job is already open in someone's system, then and Munawar is trying to export it, he has to click on that checkbox, exclude read only.
No, it is not that he has to click on the checkbox. Okay, it is not mandatory.
Okay.
He can click the checkbox if he feels that, okay, some people can open the other jobs. Okay, the jobs which he wants to, the jobs which he is going to export, some people might open it. Okay, then those jobs should not be exported. Okay, so for that reason, clear?
Yes. Besides the last part, it's still confused about the last.
Which one?
The last, whatever you just said, it like.
So that's what. So now I am looking at this job, right? I am working on this job. Okay. Now this job, if Munawar exported this job, then will you get the latest changes?
No.
No, right?
No.
Then the job export is no use.
Okay.
So that's the reason Munawar has planned. He clicked exclude read-only items. So this job will not get exported. The job which I am looking will not be getting exported.
Okay.
Understood?
Okay.
So that's the reason. Clear?
Okay. Okay. One quick question. Like when you try to do it and he check the box, exclude read only, and say
What is
you're
that?
working
What is that? I didn't get you.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get you. What is that?
Okay. Say whenever is trying to export the job, okay, and you're
Mm-hmm.
reading the same job, okay,
Right.
and you clicked on the checkbox, exclude read only. The job is
Right.
not the job is open is not gonna export. Am I right?
That if you click that exclude read only items only.
Okay. Okay, my next question will be, okay, just say like it will not export. Once you just say like whatever you were looking or editing something, when you close the job, will it export later on or no?
No. You need to export it again because that
Okay.
export is a manual task. It is not automatic, right?
Okay. Okay.
Clear? Clear the
Yes.
concept?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now click on the include dependent items. Now what is this? Okay. So when I click on this include dependent items, so if any one of the job you are accessing, okay. So for example, I have a job, okay,
Mhm.
and this job is having a sequence. So earlier itself I told you that there are two different things, parallel job and sequence job, right? So you are going to export, so every parallel job should be entitled with a sequence job that you are aware of, right?
Yeah.
Every parallel job, because we are not going to run the parallel job in the real-time projects. We are going to run only the sequence jobs. So each and every parallel job should be entitled with a sequence job. Now let's take an example. A is a parallel job and A1 is the sequence. Now you are exporting only the A. So when you click on the include dependent items, the sequence job will also get exported because that is a dependent item. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is the include dependent items. Is that point clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So that is what the export and import concepts are.
Suppose
Yeah.
we are exporting only the sequence job, then the parallel job will automatically export it.
If you click the include dependent items, the parallel job will automatically come.
Okay. Vice versa.
Yeah, I mean anything. It's not about the parallel job or the sequence job. Any parameter sets, okay, any routines, whatever the job is holding, you know, whatever the job is required, all the dependent items will get. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
So all dependent items will be included automatically for that particular job to run.
Okay. One more thing. What if you don't check the box? Then what's going to happen?
If you don't check, then you will not get. Only the job which you want to export, that one it will come. Is that clear?
Yes.
So that is what the export and import. Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. You know, my daughter is there, so she will always does this.
Morning time.
Yeah, morning time. That's very difficult.
Yes.
Usually she sleeps till 9 o'clock, but today she wakes up very early. That's the disturbances she is causing now. Yeah. Okay. మమ్మీ పిల్లండి దీన్ని కంటించి Now, so you are done with the import and export and what are the tools, I mean in the multiple job compile we are going to use, that you are clear. Again and again I am asking, you are clear, right?
Yeah, the concept is clear.
Now, dataset management, okay? Now you have a tool called dataset management. So by using this particular tool itself, you have to delete the datasets. Okay? Now let me ask you a simple question. When I'm talking about the dataset, how many files it will create? Fast.
2 files.
2 files. What are those?
Descriptor and data file.
Now where the data is present? Fast. Where the data is present?
Descriptive
In
file.
the descriptor file.
Where the location is present?
In the descriptor file also.
Both in data and descriptor, both data and location is present in the descriptor file. Then what data file is going to contain then?
Sorry, descriptor file carries the location and that data is in the data file.
Absolutely. Then please think while you are saying the answer. So now if I delete the descriptor file, have I deleted the data file?
No.
No. So which means that you suppose the data file size is 1 GB and the descriptor file size is 1 KB. If you have deleted the descriptor file but still the memory is still existing, right? The 1 GB memory is still occupied.
Right.
Of course the link is gone, right? You have deleted the link. So which means that this data file is no more usable. But the space is still occupying, right or wrong?
Right.
Right? So if you want to delete the data file, then you have to delete both the descriptor file and as well as the data file. Okay?
That's why you will use the Datastage
Management, exactly. So for that reason, you need to go to the dataset management and you need to go to that particular file location and you can delete it. Is that clear?
Yes.
So if accidentally somebody has deleted the descriptor file, they cannot recreate it and link it to that data file?
No. How would you do that? No. Because the descriptor file and the data file shares the same, right? The system generated. So you can't, if you deleted the descriptor file means that's all. You have to recreate that again. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay.
Now let's discuss about the other concept. Now when you click on the tools, you can click the run director and you will go to the director. So in the director, what are the things you does? What are the things you generally seen so far in the director? Come on, fast.
The director keeps the log for the
Right.
all
So
the
from
jobs
the director, I can view the log. Okay. I can see the status. Okay. Right? Is that right or wrong?
Yes.
And I can also see how many records have flown. How? By right click and click on the monitor. So this will show you how many records have come from source and how many records have gone to the target. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is with the director. And with the director, if any jobs got logged, please understand, if any job got logged, okay, then what you need to do is from the director, you can clean up the resources. So by going to this particular job, you can see here, clean up resources and clear the status file, these two things. So these two things will be enabled if you click the job administration using director in the administration. So let me show you. So you go to the administrator. So you go to the administrator. So just keep the password. Now what is happening? Can you just type the password, Ramana?
Isn't it Tiger?
No, it's going to the run.
Windows, right? I mean, I think some shift button or Windows button is pressed.
No.
It's going, I mean, when you are typing R, it is going to Windows R. That's not the
Yeah.
problem.
Right.
Oh, it's still going. So far it worked fine. Now what is happening here? Okay. Wait. So R A V A N A. Copy it. Paste it. Is that clear?
Yes.
So you need to find out a way how to get the R and everything.
Very smart.
So now the administrator will open. Now if you go to the project where we are, so Ramana is the project, click on the properties. Now if you see this particular button, the checkbox, enable runtime job administration in the director, right? So if you enable this, then those two buttons will all gets enabled. Now you press enable, press OK and close it. Okay. Now you restart the director again. Now you double click on the director. Paste it. So why I am saying all this stuff, because whenever you go to the real-time scenarios, if someone asks you, okay, clean up the resources, you should not be confused. Okay, where is the cleanup resources? So you need to go to the job and you can see the cleanup resources. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the reason I am just saying, if someone asks you delete the job from director, you can delete the job from director. Okay, so that's the reason I am saying all these concepts. Otherwise these concepts are, when we go to the real time only, then we'll get an habit, but as we will always go with an experience, right? So these are all the minor things which, these are the very simple things, basic things which a person has to know.
Okay, what about the reset?
Which one? Yeah, I will tell you. So suppose if a job got now, that is later on I will tell you. Okay, the reset button. Don't. I will not tell you now. So wherever it is apt, I will tell you. Okay. Now, if you see here, I will click the log. I will see the whole log. Right. I am seeing only the 15 entries. Right.
Mm.
But what if there is a log previous day also? On 24th also there you have ran the job. On 23rd also you have ran the job. I want to see that log also. Okay. Now what you need to do? Press Ctrl T. What? Press Ctrl T. Then you will get this particular filter. Now you can click oldest and click the last 100, or you can click the oldest and select all entries, which means that from beginning you will get all the entries.
Okay.
Okay, this is something, a filter to filter out the log content.
Mm-hmm.
You can understand by the name, by the words. Start of last run. So whenever it is running from the start, you just want. Or on which day you want. How many entries you want. You want the last 100, you can keep the last 100. So this is something, a filter to filter out the entries. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sometimes what happens is, job will get aborted saying that it crossed 50 warnings. Job gets abort due to the warnings, if it crosses 50. Why? So the reason is, if you go to the job, go to the tools, click on the options, you will see abort job after 50 warnings. Do you see this property?
Yeah.
So this property is the default one. So you need to click no limit. So when you click on the no limit, which you mean to say that, boss, how many number of warnings it might come, don't abort the job, let it run. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is one thing. Second thing is, you can see this refresh interval. For every 4 seconds, this director will get refreshed. What is that? For every 4 seconds, this director will get refreshed. So you are in a production. You are in a production environment, and you know that the jobs will keep on running. Right?
Yes.
So you have 300 jobs, and you have 300 jobs, and all the 300 jobs will be running. Among 100 job, hello?
Yeah, Rajesh sir, we missed your like 5-10 seconds of. I couldn't hear you at least.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you either.
Okay. So are you able to hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, now.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say,
You're gone again. We can't hear you.
Same here, I cannot hear you. Looks like load sharing again.
Yeah, I guess it's gone.
Reconnecting is reconnecting.
Are you able to hear me?
Now
we
we
can.
can hear you.
Yeah,
Back.
sorry for that. My connection got reconnected. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, in the production environment, you have 300 to 400 jobs, which are, which the production environment will always be busy. It keeps on running, right? Still, are you fine? Are you all able to hear me? Hello?
We hear you on and off. You come and go.
Breaking so bad.
Hello?
Raj is breaking so bad.